Okay, guys. Hi. I'm gonna do the 280 hours for the month of February, and then I'm gonna try to squeeze in there the 230 hours for a couple of ladies that asked for it. So that'll work. Let me set up this phone again. So I got like 30% battery or something like that. This thing has a, oops. Okay, there we go. That's from the previous uh one that I did. I'm gonna show you real quick my new travel board. This is what I'm working on for travel. I know I don't have tea. It's okay. It's in the making. Okay. But I just want to show you guys. It's gonna be for travel. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it because once I put it on there, it's gonna be like permanent. But that's pretty good. I just gotta make it a little bit better. But anyway, let's see if that looks okay. That looks okay. You know I smoke a lot. How many people we got up there? We got one. That's good enough. All right. So I need to do one for, I think I'm gonna do the one that's for like 283 because that's more common. I'm gonna erase the number. It's gonna be for the month of January. I'm sorry, it's the month of February. So we have February 1st to the 15th and 2019. It's going to be for 283 hours. We are going to do the math. We are also going to do the 70%, where I'm going to show you guys what 70% is. I know I make my sevens like that. And I was telling you guys that when you guys call the IHSS number, they tell you guys not to exceed more than 70% of your hours per timesheet. That means that you can claim up to 70% of the hours per timesheet. Let me make sure this thing is like charging because I have it plugged in. And it's charging. Okay, good. So we got 208. So it tells you not to claim more than 200. It tells you not to claim more than 70% per timesheet. I don't know why, but that's the rule. That's what they have. So when I want to find out what 70% of 283 is, I multiply it times 0.70. So I have 283 times 0.70. It gives me 198.1. Okay. These are hours. These are decimals. You don't want to deal with the decimals. And just so that I'm safe, the maximum amount of hours that I would claim per timesheet, because I like that cushion, would be 195. Not 198. Just so it gives me a round figure. Okay. I'm going to look at January's calendar to get a better estimate of how many hours someone that works 283 hours would put on their timesheet. So by looking at I have a January calendar over here. By looking at January, that's 70 and 70 and 70. That's 310. 310. Wait a minute, not 310. 7 times 3 is 21. 210. 210 minus 283 equals 73. So I'm going to say they did 20, 50 hours. Okay, so I'm going to say that the claimed hours for the previous timesheet is 50, okay? That's what I'm going to say, because I'm looking at another calendar that I have over here, and I'm kind of guesstimating the claimed hours would be, okay? So once you find out what the 70% is of 283, then you know that you can't go over, it's actually 198, but then you know you can't go over 195. So once again, this is Sandra A. I'm your home care provider. I'm going to try to teach you guys how to do the 70% on your February timesheet, because February is short. It only has 28 days. For the past couple of years, it's been my knowledge that they have increased in violations. Violations is something that you don't want to get. First violation is a warning. Second violation, third violation is a 90 days suspension. The fourth violation is a whole year suspension, which basically means you got to start all over again. And I don't want anyone to go through that. There's been several cases, and it's terrifying and it's horrible. So these videos are for you guys to kind of try to learn how to do your timesheets. Basically, all you have to do is just input your numbers into the if you have 200 hours, then you would do 200 hours times 0.70, and that would mean that the maximum amount is 140 hours, which I would do like 135, just so that you guys get an idea. So just input your numbers up here, input your number right here, okay, and then subtract your claimed hours from your weekly allowed, and we're going to find what the weekly allowed is for that. I know that 283 divided by 4 is like 70.45, but I'm going to double check because I haven't done it in a while. Divided by 4 equals, yeah. So it's 70.75. These are hours. These are decimals. Okay? Don't play with the decimals. Leave the decimals alone. Don't get greedy. You're already up at 283 hours. Leave the decimals alone and just focus on working 70 hours a week, because 70 hours a week is actually more than enough. Okay? You have to look at a calendar. You have to get both your timesheets. I've done videos where there's like double timesheets so you guys can see. Just map it out, calculate it, so that your recipient gets adequate care and nobody is shorted when it comes to claiming hours. Okay, so now I know that per week I'm allowed 70 hours. Okay, so what I'm gonna normally, you would also divide 283 hours into 2 timesheets, 283 divided by 2, which gives you 141.50. Once again, that's these are hours and these are decimals. Okay? Don't play with the decimals. But we all know that 141 plus 142 equals 283. So that's how you guys normally do it. Okay? This one is going to be a little off. Of course, you could see that from 141 to 195. That's a like a 50 gap, right? You don't want to do and you're scared because you're like, I can't put 195 hours in one timesheet. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Why? Because they tell you when you call the IHS's number, and here's the number so that if you guys need it, call them 9622, and that's IHSS. Ladies are very nice. Be patient. You get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. They answer over 300 phone calls when you call them. Be direct. Don't beat around the bush. Tell them exactly what you need. Answer their questions so that they can know what it is that you're going through, okay? That's kind of like what I do. I know every person is an individual, but if I stay there and I listen to every single little detail, which sometimes I do because I have the time and I don't mind. I want to get to know you guys. But I also have specific questions that I ask you guys all the time, because once you tell me something, then I learn from what you're going through, and then I think, okay, how can I help this person? How can I make them better? How can I teach them more? How can I make their living situation better? You know, so my objective is to get this correct, but also this is how we work, and you're entitled for every penny that you work for, and you should get everything. Okay, so not only do I get it right, and like I said, for the past 3 years, I've never made a mistake. And I'm so proud of that, because I'm blessed and I'm guided, and I pray and I say, okay, Lord, come on, let's do this. And then he just goes, bing, and I think of stuff, right? So here we go. Now, this 195, I said is the 70%. It's a little less than 70%. That's what I'm aiming to do, because this February is going to be a short month. Now, my stick. This used to be a duster. Okay. Sorry. I was thinking again. Anyways. If I know that per week I'm allowed 70 hours a week, and I already have claimed 50 hours, which I do this to let me know that I worked 50 hours there. I do this so you guys can see it. Okay? If I know that I'm allowed 70 hours a week, and I take away the 50 claimed, that leaves me 20 hours. That leaves me 20 hours to work there. Our work week starts on Sunday and ends on Saturday. 50 plus 20 is the 70 that I'm allowed per week. Okay? Easy. Work week starts on Sunday, ends on Saturday. Does not matter where the timesheet ends, but these hours that are claimed, that show up here when you have one recipient, are very important, because you cannot go over the weekly allowed hours. When you have 2 recipients, 3 recipients, 4 recipients like I do, I have to always make sure that I have copies of my timesheets, because I need to know how many I work for one person, for recipient 1, for recipient 2, for recipient 3, for recipient 4. And you know what? Let me show you guys something real quick. I just thought about this. This is how good I am. This is how good I am. I just got 4 timesheets in the mail. Okay, you guys? And these are hours that are going to be for my son. because he's going to start doing this for me because I have extra hours. But I want to show you guys, and I'm going to have to like just bend my timesheets so you guys don't see who I work for, because I don't want you guys to see. I calculate all the time how high I go. I need to know exactly how many hours I work for each consumer, okay? I got these timesheets in the mail today, and I qualify for with all my consumers put together, I qualify for 66 hours a week. That means I get 40 hours of regular time, and then I get 26 hours of overtime. Let me see here. Let me look at the dates. 16, that's the next one. That's the next one. And that's one. Okay. I want you guys to see this. Ooh. Let me see if I'm doing it okay. Do you guys see the claimed hours up here? For 940? I got to go back and check what that is, because I don't like that. It should be more. But do you see the claimed hours here for 65.39? Do you see the claimed hours here for 66? Okay. This is 11:1 to 11:15. This is now 11:16 to 11:30. You see 57:16? Do you see 66 hours there? 30 minutes here. Okay. I don't like all those odd ones, but look at how beautiful this one looks. This is how good I did. You see that 66 hours there? You see that 66 hours? You see that 66 hours there? That's what the machine does. The machine will automatically add the hours for all your clients. You see the 66 hours here? 66 hours here? 66 hours here? All of those 66s are a combination of the hours that I worked for all of my 4 people. So, for 283 hours, these 50 hours are only for one person. This time sheet is for just one person. But my 66 hours are for all 4 people. I got paid for all 66 hours. And that is a combination of putting everyone together. Everyone. To the minute. I want my minutes. Everything. That's how good I am. That's awesome. I just got those today. Some of those are supplementals, but I can't. There's only certain spots I can claim. But anyways, my point is, if you want to get paid your full 40 hours of regular time and your full 30 hours of overtime, and I'll tell you how much 30 hours is now in overtime. 30 times 18.90, and I'm giving you gross. 30 times 18.90. That's $567 gross for those 30 hours on top of your 40 hours. 40 times 1260. That's $1,000. Wow, that's $1,070 a week, which you're making. That's $4,000. 4 times 4,300 a month if you're doing it correctly. That's what you guys should be getting every month gross. Of course, you deduct taxes and all that and stuff, but my point is these 50 hours here claimed are 40 hours of regular time and 10 hours of overtime. These 20 hours here are going to be now overtime also. So if you put 19 hours there, if you work 19 hours here, then you just shorted yourself of $18.90. So my objectives are to go ahead and get this timesheets correctly done, but I also want you to maximize the amount of money you guys are getting because you work hard. Because I'm sure you work hard longer than 283 hours a month. Let me see, 24 times 7, 168 times 4. There's 672 hours in a week, in a month, minus the 283. There's 389 hours still left. I'm pretty sure you guys work a lot of those 389 hours also on top of the 283. So my focus is on teaching you guys how to do your timesheets and how to work efficient, you know, so that you get paid for your money. So when they say that we cannot work more than 70% on each timesheet, I take the 283 hours, I multiply it times the 0.70 because that's the conversion of the percentage. And it tells me I can work 198 hours for one timesheet in the month. Okay? Because of course we're going to take 283 hours and we're going to take away 198. And that means that our next timesheet, one of our timesheets is going to be drastically short. It's going to be 85 hours. 85 hours plus 198. $198 for our first timesheet plus 85. Was that 85? Yeah. Equals 283. So that's literally what you can work. How you can work. So let's do this timesheet. If you have claimed 50 hours and your weekly allowed hours is 70, then you can work here 20 hours. Why? Because 20 hours plus 50 hours is the 70 allowed per week. This work week here is always full. So that one automatically is a 70. How do you do that? 10 and 10. There's my 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 70. And remember on the last video that I said it's like, well, how do I fill this one out? Well, it's a pattern, you guys. It's a pattern. So you take this pattern and you go ahead and you do the pattern. As long as you do not exceed the 195, which is the 70% that I feel comfortable at. That's actually like 68% or something like that. This is 60. So then I take 20, 70, and 60, and I add it. 20 plus 70 plus 60 is 150. So this timesheet is going to be for 150 hours. Nowhere near the 195. Nowhere near. Okay? So that means 283 minus 150. That means that our next timesheet is going to be for 133. Okay? Here we go. 70% per timesheet is what you can claim on a timesheet. As long as you don't supersede 70%, you're fine. 70% of 283 is 198. I don't want to do 198 because I want a round number and I feel more comfortable at 195. So now I know that I can go, I feel comfortable at 195, and that's what I'm going to try to aim for this timesheet. How did I get the 50? I kind of calculated from January. A majority of you guys should have that amount on your timesheet. It's 50. Somewhere 40, 30. So then I take the 50 that's claimed that I've already worked, I deduct it from my hours per week that I'm allowed, and I get 1250 is the 70 allowed per week. This is a full work week, so I claim my entire 70. I follow this pattern, and I fill this one out the same way. As long as I do not go over the 70%, which I know I'm trying to get to 195, I can fill that out that way. So now I got 20, 70, and 60 gives me 150 hours. So this timesheet is for 150 hours, which I know is 45 less than 195. Okay, so that's that for the 1st of February to the 15th. Now let's go and do the 16th of February. Let's do the 16th of February to the 28th. Okay? My claimed hours are now going to be what? 60. Because our work week starts on Sunday and ends on Saturday. Our timesheet ended on Friday. So all of these hours here, which are these hours, 60, are now going to roll over and go here as claimed. Okay? Why? Because this is the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes or no? And now our new timesheet starts on the 16th. Is that right, you guys? You see how these hours, these claimed hours roll over here? Because this week and this week, even though it's a different timesheet, it's the same work week. So that means that in this week here, I work 60. This is what I do. I work 60, right? Same work week, different timesheet. I can erase this now. And if I'm allowed, if I have 60 claimed and I'm allowed to work 70 per week, that means here I can work 10 hours. So let me label this because this is now our second timesheet. Okay. Once again, my claimed hours was 60 from the previous timesheet. Work week starts on Sunday and ends on Saturday, but our timesheet ended on Friday. But our work week continued 60. I'm allowed 70 per week. I've already gotten paid for 60. Plus 10 is the 70 allowed per week. Here, again, our work week starts on Sunday and ends on Saturday. That's an automatic 70. Now, we have 283 hours minus the 150 that we worked on our previous timesheet. This was our first timesheet. This is going to be our second timesheet. That's where we're aiming. 133. Okay? So we have, how do we get to 133? Easy. $70 plus 10 plus 70 is 80. We need to get to 133. 133 minus 10 minus 70 equals 53. So in this work week here, we would put 53 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How? follow this pattern, but you got to add the 53. 10, 20, 31, 41, 42, 52, 53. And that ensures that you guys are going to have space for your hours in your work week, in your whole month of February. You respected the fact that on the first timesheet, you respected the fact that you did not exceed the 70%, okay, because you were at 150. And every week, you respected the fact that you did not go over 70 hours. 60 plus 10 is the 70 allowed. 70 here. Work week starts Sunday, ends on Saturday. Work week starts on Sunday, ends on Saturday. Our timesheet ended here. So these 53 hours are going to go claimed on the next timesheet, which would be March. Does that make sense? Maybe this last part doesn't, but I hope you guys can see it. And that's it. Let me get my phone. And let me see. I kind of figured out how to look at my comments. You just scroll them. Oh my God, I hate this. Here we go. Sorry. Okay. I just look at, see if you guys have any questions. Let's turn around. See if you guys have any questions. Does anybody have any questions on how to get your hours put in there? You're welcome. You're welcome, Denise. Now I'm going to go ahead and I don't know how much longer this thing will go. This is 32 minutes. I'm going to stop it and I'm going to go ahead and do the one for the 230 hours. See if that helps you. You know what would help if you're watching? I think it was Cassandra. If you're watching, if you tell me, no, you can't tell me because you haven't turned in January's 15th to the 31st yet. And that's the trick. It's when we have the claimed hours. As long as you deduct your claimed hours from the hours that you're allowed per week, then that's when you're able to. That's how you know how many hours you can work per week. And now I said overtime is extremely important. So I'm gonna do one. I'm going to do the 230, but I'm going to do it in Spanish because I haven't done it yet. So I need to teach in Spanish also. Actually, I think I'll just do the 283 in Spanish. That might help. All right, you guys. Well, thank you. God bless. I hope this helps. My phone's still charging. Yeah, it's still charging. You're welcome. You're welcome. And I hope this helps. God bless. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you guys. Comment, like, subscribe. It's a little